welcome back to my channel. My name is Reej. If you are new here, today I have a exciting video. It's going to be a part of this like herbalism flow that I have entered into now. So my friend Nicole, she runs this brand called Cole's Apothecary. And she and I decided to do a collab with the herb being the focus of the collab is sea moss. So I'll do like a close-up shot of it. She gifted me a purple sea moss and a gold sea moss. This is not the first time that I have played with sea moss before. I don't know what year it was. It was either 2020 or 2021 where sea moss entered my life. And I honestly don't remember how I learned about it or where it came from or who I found it through. But I just remember finding it and feeling really called towards it and ordering some and playing with it. And I would add it to my smoothies. So sea moss, it comes in this dry form, and then you can turn it into a gel, which is what we will be doing together today in this video using the sea moss that Cole got me. So then you take the gel and you can use it in a variety of different ways. The way that I have used it in the past is because I already drink cacao almost every day, and since 2020, and I still do. I add like a tablespoon of it to the cacao, but I've also played with like adding it to smoothies and things like that. But yeah, it enters my life kind of on its own. Kind of like every other plant, I find. When I'm meant to work with it, it kind of just starts popping up. So yeah, sea moss is fun. I'm going to start off by reading you what Nicole has written on her website about the benefits of sea moss. So for me though, personally, I'm not someone who works with plants through a very left-brained perspective, the linear way of thinking. The plants that I'm working with, it's something that they start showing up in my reality experience, and then I feel from within me, I feel like a desire to explore further or investigate further or deepen the relationship with them. But I know that because of the mainstream culture, it is still very focused on, if I'm working with this plant, what's it doing for me? What's it giving me? Like, what are the health benefits on like a chemical level that it is interfacing my body with? It's just not the way that I work with plants. My body knows. My body tells me when a plant is for me, and then sometimes I will go and validate that for my mental self by researching and looking up the properties of the plant, etc. But most often, the experience of it and just feeling called to it, learning about how to prep it, how to use it, and then just letting my own experience guide me and be the truth for me. That's how I like to play with plants. But anyway, I will still read what Nicole has. So this is off her website, withlovecole.com. It's like really great to sit on a rock, but then it's like, oh, this is actually kind of uncomfortable. Not gonna lie. Okay, so this is what Nicole says. The superfood of the Caribbean. Sea moss, also known as Irish moss, it's an excellent source of iodine, minerals, protein, and potassium chloride, a nutrient which helps to dissolve inflammation and phlegm in the mucous membranes, which makes it ideal for respiratory issues. Other key elements include sulfur compounds, bromine, beta-carotene, calcium, iron, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, selenium, zinc, pectin, vitamin C, B, B12, K, and A. Perfect. That's very good to know. It's very synchronistic how plants enter my life. I'm in this phase right now where I really am bringing in more responsibilities into my life, and I'm really strengthening, like intentionally strengthening my ability to be disciplined and be devoted to something and to be consistent with something. And so consistency, focus, discipline, these are all themes that I'm really working on in my self-growth journey in this current moment. And when I read about all of the minerals and physical support that the sea moss gives you, it makes so much sense to me, because I'm like, okay, so if I am committing to being more active in my physical life, as in like being more with discipline, focus, and consistency, a lot of that is about action taking. If I am focusing on being in a phase where I am starting to take more action than I have in previous phases of my life, that means I'm moving my body around more. I am using my mental capacities more, and therefore I'm using more energy and I'm using more resources in my body. And so, of course, like to have an herb like this or a plant support like this that can help me replenish nutrients in my body at this time where I will be using them more, it all aligns, you know? So yeah, I love that already. And then she wrote, sea moss is ideal for healthy skin. The iodine and mineral compounds aid in the body's production of collagen, which plumps the skin, smooths out wrinkles, tones, and fights the signs of aging. It's also great for the thyroid, with the ability to balance thyroid hormones and reduce inflammation in the body, including inflamed joints. This natural superfood contains compounds which act as antimicrobial and antiviral agents, helping to boost immunity and remove infections from the body. It detoxifies the body of heavy metals, pollutants, and carcinogens. It also inhibits the growth of pathogenic viruses, yeast, and bacteria. So this is off of her website. So for me, like just reading that, to me, it's just like body support, body support, body support. There's a lot of herbs that I use and interface with that feel like more energetic support. But then there are specific herbs and plants that feel very like like physical building block energy, and sea moss feels like that to me. The other plant that feels like that to me that I was playing with this season was heal all, which is, hold on, I'm gonna get some. It's this tiny purple flower, and it just grows all over our lawn. And that is the other plant that I have been playing with and using and learning about, that has this like very like grounded physical body support type of energy. Whereas like in comparison though, the sea moss feels more for like everyday support, kind of like the same vibe that adaptogens give you. Adaptogens are this like class of herbs that are meant to be taken regularly over a long period of time, because they're just kind of like, the way that I visualize them is like support structures, like scaffolding, or I said scaffolding because there's literally scaffolding up there because Garrett's parents are redoing their windows. But it's like this system of support. And also like, I don't know if you can see this in the shot, but you know how tomato plants have the support structures that help them stay up? That's what I feel from adaptogens like ashwagandha, and the mushrooms, reishi, etc., things like that. Sea moss kind of gives me a very similar vibe to that creating like a supporting structure around you to help hold you up as you move through the things that, as you take your body through the things that you desire to take your body through in this life. Whereas the heal all, the little purple flower that I showed you, that feels like more for healing very specific, like healing ailments, rather than just being a support structure. That makes, see the difference? You see what I'm trying to paint the picture here? So yeah. In my planning of this video, I wrote down, like, I'm going to talk about the intro, like some of the benefits that Nicole listed, and then I'm going to like channel the vibes of sea moss, and it already kind of started coming through when I was speaking about the energy, like what I feel from it. But let's just go into a meditation really quick. This is something that when I started my formal herbalism journey a few months ago, I saw myself doing this, like just using the art of channeling, but then blending it with herbalism and then channeling the spirit of the plant. So we're going to go into meditation and we're going to see what comes up for sea moss. I do have two different types. The one that I really feel called to work with today is the purple sea moss, and I was already feeling into that. And then later I was listening to a voice note that Nicole had sent me, and she actually said that the purple sea moss is more nutrient dense, and I think that's what I desire to use it for. I think she said the gold one is really good for topical use and like those skin benefits that we talked about a second ago, but I want it more for that structural support that I feel. So we're gonna be tuning into that. The way that I feel called to channel these is in the same way, in a similar way to how I have worked with the Akashic Records, which is one name for this kind of like your soul library. You can look into that if you want. But basically, it's the same type of method, I feel, or it's like the same plane of existence to be tapped into, like when you're accessing someone's Akashic Records, aka their soul's history, information from their parallel lifetimes, etc. And then also like plant consciousness. Like it just feels like when I close my eyes, it feels like I'm bringing my consciousness, like zooming it out of my body and kind of accessing this, let's just say higher dimension where everything exists and you can just kind of pull from what you desire to pull from. So today we're going to enter that plane and pull from the consciousness of the spirit of sea moss, the energy of sea moss. So let's close our eyes again. Breathe as you feel like you desire to breathe. Don't control your breath. Breathe naturally. And as you breathe, zooming our consciousness out, zooming our awareness out, accessing all. Tuning into sea moss. Okay, starting to get imagery right away. So what I do know from previous research is that sea moss is literally from the sea in the Caribbean, and people harvest it. And the visions that are coming through right away are people who are, it almost has like a savior energy to it, like the sea moss does, because the way it came into practice, or at least what I'm seeing in this vision, there's like this celebration energy of seeing it on shore, seeing it wherever it grows. And these people who look very like tired and hungry, they celebrate its existence and its presence there because it offers them the sustenance that they are not getting in other places. And so it has almost like this savior-like energy. And also there's an abundance of it. Like I see an abundance of it. So it's like not only is it providing sustenance, but there's more than enough to go around for everyone. And I'm seeing like this kind of like a cross section diagram of your body. Like, you know, when you're in school and you see, when you're learning about the digestive system and you see like the esophagus, I'm seeing that type of image. And it's like when the sea moss enters your body, it kind of moves to the, like all corners, like it kind of spreads out to the peripheries of your body. Sea moss is showing me that it does that. It spreads and now I'm seeing like potholes being filled. So it's like I guess that means like anywhere that needs, like it fills the potholes in your system, wherever that might need. And it's very structural. Like the energy is very structural. I feel very like it's like the skeletal system somehow. It helps with holding you up, similar to what I was saying with the scaffolding and like hold the support system. Like it's like very much seeing that, like I'm feeling this energy of like being very upright and held. I'm also seeing like as it exits your system, or as it like moves through, like enters, moves in your body, then moves out, it has this like absorbent quality that you'll actually see when we make it together. It soaks things and expands. And so I'm like, I don't know how it actually does this, but I'm seeing it maybe even energetically soaking up things within your body, kind of like a sponge, soaking up. So it's like filling potholes, but then it's also soaking in things that you don't want and carrying it out. And I guess that relates to what Cole wrote of it, like detoxifying the body. So that's cool. Anything else? I feel 2 more properties wanting to be shared. Something about blood. Cleansing of blood. Yeah, so it's just like circulatory system, like just like emphasizing the fact that it circulates all throughout your body, that like it's not localizing to any. It's like similar to how, I don't know if it has any relations to the blood, but I guess it does because minerals. Yeah, just like an emphasis on circulation throughout your body, as like how blood moves through your body and is everywhere. It's similar to how it works. It kind of touches every part of you. It's not localized like some herbs are. Like, for example, again, we're comparing it to the heal all that I was showing you. Like the heal all's energy feels very like localized, like it'll go to wherever it is needed specifically and then like stay there and kind of like really kind of pick localized spots to heal. But because this is a full system support type of vibe, it is constantly circulating and like searching and filling in things where it needs to be filled in. And because of that, it does do well more as like a consistent, like taking it consistently over a duration of time, or even like similar to how I drink cacao, like I drink it almost every day. Similar to that, like you can drink it every day or consume it every day. Like it is like how I was saying earlier, that adaptogen type of mechanism. Okay, is there anything else? All of a sudden I noticed that it was really hot, and I felt my sweat. Something to do with sweat. Like it could just be related to the detoxifying effects of it. It's cooling. That's what it is. It's a cooling herb. It cools the system. And so, yeah, okay, it's a cooling herb. It will cool your system down. It's also like from the Caribbean, which is also the hot climate. And so I'm just seeing like in the winter to be mindful of consuming it and maybe pairing it with something warm. So in the summer, maybe if you're like me, this might be specifically for me, but if you're like me and you run cold, for me, it's probably better to blend it with something warm, like cacao, soup, things like that, rather than with something cold like a smoothie or a milkshake. Smoothie or milkshake might be okay for me in the summer if I'm really hot, but for the most part, I think for me personally and for anyone else that runs cold, to take it with something warming to like counterbalance its cooling effects. But yeah, and then I also like lastly, what's coming through is like topical application. So if you want any, just like the cooling effect of that. Sometimes that feels good topically as well if you're hot or just, sunburn, that type of vibe. I don't know if it actually will help with that, but I'm getting that information here. So if you're called to that, definitely try it out. It feels like similar to, like the topical use of it feels similar to like an aloe vera gel. Okay, so that is all the information that wants to be channeled today for sea moss. And now let's make it. Okay, everyone, welcome to my kitchen. Do you see? Maybe I should put sea moss on my... I don't usually get sunburned because I have melanin, but when I do get sunburned, it'll be right here. Okay, so we are in the kitchen. Do not mind that. That is a repair in progress. But okay, so I looked online for instructions, and Nicole was also nice enough to send me like a detailed voice note on how to prepare this thing. I'm gonna narrate it here and then overlay what I'm doing because I think that'll be easier. The gel is what we're making right now, and it'll last in the fridge for 4 to 6 weeks. And she said if you take it every day, you'll probably get through 16 ounces of it. And she said 16 ounces of it is probably like a palm size amount. So that is what we are going to be doing today. Start off by rinsing it under water. And this could just be any water. And then once you've rinsed it, you're going to soak it in the water for like 10 to 15 minutes. This is going to get the debris off of it, the debris that you don't want to be blending into your gel with it. So once it's done for 10 to 15 minutes, you drain it and then you soak it again. But for the second soak, you're going to use your higher quality water if you have that. I currently don't. So I'm just going to be using my regular water, but if you do, you could use distilled water or spring water or whatever fun, extra special water that you have. Because for the second soak, we're going to be leaving it for a few hours to overnight. And this is the water that actually gets soaked into the gel that you will be consuming later on when it's complete. Now I'm just going to leave it for a few hours. Okay, so it is the next day. This is what the sea moss looks like. It actually looked like this last night as well, but I wasn't sure like how translucent it's supposed to get. I got a Vitamix because I remember trying this in a NutriBullet like a few years ago when I got some dried sea moss, and it did not work so well. And Nicole did say that I could like boil it to soften it if I didn't have a Vitamix, but I don't know, something about boiling it feels like it's going to make it lose something. So I decided to just wait until I had access to a Vitamix. This is Judy's Vitamix. It's usually in the city, but she brought it here so I could do this. So I'm literally just going to pull do you remember how small it was? It was like the palm of my hand, right? So I'm just gonna pull this out, put it in the Vitamix, and then she said to just fill it with enough water to cover all of it. Let's just do that much because it is buoyant. Also, talking about the smell of this, it does smell like the sea, like the ocean. Yeah, okay. So now we are going to blend it on high for like 2 to 3 minutes. And that's what it looks like. Oops. Yeah, this works a lot better than the the NutriBullet. Okay, I still have a lot left, like a lot. So I'm going to freeze the rest. Let's start with this one. So yeah, when I did it in the NutriBullet that other year, it was not like this at all. Like this is like exactly the consistency that you'd want. So Nicole was saying that this will last 4 to 6 weeks in the fridge, and then you can also just freeze it. So because I have so much extra, that's what we're doing, because I don't think I'm the only one consuming this, I'm pretty sure, so I don't think I'll get through it. Okay, yay, I've had enough. Okay, we are done with this. So I'm going to basically use this every day in my cacao for a week. I'll also see if there's other places where I'm gonna blend it, but I'm gonna use it every day, and then I will get back to you in a week. You don't have to go anywhere, just stay in this video and let you know what my experience was. So this does smell like the ocean, but for some reason it doesn't gross me out like I'd assume I would. Like it doesn't make me feel weird about putting it in anything, because if you taste it, like it has a taste, but it's not disgusting or anything. Like it feels fresh. Hi friends, sorry for the MacBook quality, but it's kind of nostalgic. Hold on, maybe I'll put a effect. One sec. Okay, now it's worth it. So I'm just here, literally I think it's been a little over a week since I made it and started using CMOS. I love it. With anything like this, it's obviously really hard to pinpoint exactly the effects of it, because your body is such an intricate system and everything works in harmony with many other things. So I'll just talk about what this past week or so has looked like. When I was making the CMOS, I spoke about in the video that I'm getting into like strengthening my ability to be disciplined, to be consistent, etc. And a way that I have been practicing that is through more regular workout sessions. And so I have been extremely motivated to be doing like Pilates or yoga pretty much every day. And as well, I'm also walking more. And it's hard to tell. It's kind of like the chicken or the egg scenario. I don't know if it's like if I was already going to do that and then CMOS synchronistically came in to support me with that, or because I've been feeling so strengthened by the CMOS supplement that it's enabled me to like feel like I have the energy to do something like that and to introduce a workout habit into my life after so many years of not having a consistent workout habit. So there's that. So again, like a lot of what I feel really great in my body. I feel really strong. I feel really stable and strengthened. And I think the sea moss is definitely helping with that because it's allowing me to feel like I have the energy to do something like Pilates, and then the workouts are then affecting my muscles. And it's all just like an interconnected circle. I will definitely continue to use this. I have also been using ashwagandha as well with this, and both of them together just feel so supportive and helpful. And I'm sure it's hard to track exactly how my body is feeling with these things, but if anything, mentally, just having the intention, like I'm using these herbs to support me and to aid me in feeling better in my body, increasing my capacity to do focused work, whether it's physical work or mental work. I don't know, it's overall extremely positive, and I'm really happy that it is here at this point in my life. So yeah, I'm just gonna end the video here as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon, and yeah, check the description for any links. Yeah, bye!